My project is on film's budget versus technology. Many different things can be attributed to a film's success. One popular reason to give films better reviews would be a film's budget. Similarly to the phrase, don't judge a book by its cover, a film's performance and success isn't entirely due to only its budget. Other factors such as the technology used in special effects, sound design, and computer-generated imagery, or CGI for short, are responsible for a film's performance and success. While a large budget can allow for films to use both greater quality and quantity of technology, budget alone does not decide a film's success. Special effects are a part of this. Special effects have always been a part of filmmaking and are used to create illusions through careful planning and resources to aid the audience in viewing a scene. Special effects have constantly been improving with time, and through this make the film-going experience more enjoyable. Through the improvements in special effects, filmmakers have leaped over the gap of using the audience's imagination to fill in the gaps of what they are viewing, and instead are making something that is leaping beyond the audience's imagination to create the scene. We'll look at two scenes here, one that both of them came out in 1968. They're trailers of two movies.
Night of total terror.
Welcome to voice print identification. When you see the red light go on, would you please state in the following order your destination, your nationality, and your full name?
Moon?
Alrighty, looking at those two things, we can see a lot. In this first one, well, it's not as good as the second one. The second one actually, well, it doesn't rely on the audience's imagination of what a zombie actually is, and instead already makes its preconception of space and the background and, I guess, space station actually look realistic. Don't let the color distract you, but essentially in the second one, they used their budget of around, I think, estimated budget of $12 million more effectively. And throughout the film, you'll see this, especially with their box office performance of $65 million comparatively to the first one's 236,000. We see that the second one effectively used special effects to its advantage to create scenes that didn't rely on the audience's imagination and instead leaped past this. Let's take a look at sound design. Sound design is very important in films as pictures are only half of the film itself. Through intelligent sound design, filmmakers are able to improve the audience's film-going experience and immerse the audience into the scene more. Whether it be music or even the clash of lightsabers, as you will see, sound design sets the stage and immerses the audience into the film itself. Let's look at the Star Wars scene. We'll skip to about
with
minute
me.
4. Alright, we'll watch it first with no sound. Alrighty, and then we'll watch it again with sound. Specifically right here, specifically right there, you can feel the force, you can hear the force, and you can feel their tension and the music building up, setting the stage of the scene to allow the audience to experience much more emotions than if there was no sound at all. Now imagine if it was even worse and the lightsabers sounds were or the force was a hmm. Through proper sound design, you are able to create the scene that makes the audience actually enjoy what they are listening to instead of just what they're looking at. Let's also talk about CGI. CGI is very important in modern films as good CGI has become the standard for filmmakers, with the audience's expectations growing after each new technological development within the field. CGI has come very far from its creation in 1958, almost 50 years ago, or I guess 60 years ago, and has been responsible for movies made almost entirely due to CGI. CGI is an example of budget-enabling technology. Movies made almost entirely of CGI are expensive, and large budget combined with good CGI makes for a great movie. We'll look at two scenes here.
What are you waiting for?
I think specific to note right here, it looks as if she's just standing. There's wind, but it's not really blowing their hair, and the smoke doesn't look like it's having much of an effect. It looks as if some college students put this together for their final piece with a low budget. Now let's look at the second film from Avatar. We'll skip to about here.
I need your help.
It's important to note the backgrounds and the characters. They look like they could actually exist. The background looks like a real place. You can see the edges of the rocks in the coming up scenes, and you can feel the environment itself. The CGI is used much more effectively than in the first one. Again, this movie came out about 11 or 12 years before the second one. We can even look at their ratings. Black Widow, which came out in 2021, had an IMDb rating of 6.7 out of 10 and a budget of, that's actually supposed to be $200 million, and a box office performance worldwide of $379 million. Avatar, which came out in 2009, had a 7.9 out of 10 with a budget of $237 million, only $37 million more than this first one, and a box office performance worldwide of $2.9 billion, which still sets records today for overall grossing box office performance worldwide. We can see the creators used actually good CGI to create a scene that looked great, and the large budget actually set the stage and allowed this film to succeed compared to the first one, which, well, didn't do too hot. And that's my presentation.